Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode one of the Crappy Hour. Now, you might be wondering, why would we call ourselves the Crappy Hour? Well, you see, everything online these days is just a flex. Like, hey, look at my car. Hey, look at this dinner I had. But nobody talks about the real life crappy things we go through. Nobody takes a picture of their bank account receipt when they check their ATM after they've paid all their bills. Nobody takes pictures of the hangover on the next day after a great night out and post those to Instagram. So we're here, three internet friends we've never met in real life. I love these guys, but we're here to break down the crappy moments of life when you're hungover, when you're broke, when you're hungry, and that ramen just looks so good because that's all you got. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crappy Hour. My name is Michael. I'm based in Michigan, and I am joined today by two of my very, very good internet friends, hopefully soon to be IRL friends, Andrew and Whitney. If you guys want to tell us a little bit more about yourself,
Whitney?
Buka, you go first.
Okay. My name's Andrew. I'm from Virginia. Uh, let's have a good time, man.
Well,
Let's do it.
according to our settings that I have yet to change from default mode, I'm Squadcaster DJ2A. But I am Whitney and I'm just living the nightmare over here. So let's party. Might
Couldn't have
take
said
a
it
All
better
right.
huge
myself.
gulp.
So I just big shout out episode one. Welcome everybody. We've been talking about getting this on for a while. I know it's taken a little while to get it done. We've had some moves. We've had some vacations. We've had some big life experiences that we've all been going through. I know that. Episode one today is sponsored by my pet fish, Dr. Fishy. Full name, shouts to the Ross Bolin podcast, and pardon my take, Dr. Ross LeBron Lockwood Bolin Fishy. He was a very smart fish. He was a very friendly fish. He passed away last week at the ripe old age of 3. He lived a very good life. He had his whole 5 gallon tank to himself. He would swim in my hand when he was cold. He was a good friend. Everybody loved Dr. Fishy. So episode one is sponsored by Dr. Fishy's memory. We poured one out for the little guy. Can't do it now because we're recording. Don't want to get water on the keyboard, but here's to Dr. Fishy.
This one's for Fishy.
One for you, boy.
So guys, how's everyone doing? How was everyone's day? Did anyone work today other than me? Anyone else have the day off?
I had breakfast with the maternal grandparents. I have consumed more calories today than the entire collective week up until this point, and my dad has already attempted to call and interrupt this podcast. So my Saturday is going exactly how I expected. Razorbacks completely demolished by Alabama. It's exactly what it looks and feels like to be in Arkansas right now.
It's a tale as old as time. Alabama
Truly,
duking in
truly,
on people. They're
yes.
taking it. I mean, it's is it anything more fitting than the Crappy Hour podcast talking about your team getting crapped on?
Show me on the doll where Nick Saban hasn't hurt us all, just at any point.
That doll doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Michigan opened against Alabama one year and it was terrible, terrible. It hurt. I still have memories of that. Michigan won big today over the second best defense of the country. Iowa put up 27 on them, which is great. Um,
Mm,
Oklahoma State beat Baylor, so also fantastic.
Iowa's offense stinks.
Iowa stinks. Iowa's the
Yeah,
worst thing. It's a
Iowa's.
personal vendetta of mine. I know I'm
We got Slipknot from
automatically
Iowa.
targeting an entire group, but I'm going to make it clear how I feel.
We got Slipknot from Iowa, so
Well, I got 10
and
There's a
miserable
and
positive.
George
days.
Kittle.
There's a
I,
big positive.
Yeah,
yeah,
Iowa's got a lot of positives. It's corn.
Kittle's fine, but I've been personally hurt. You guys can take a softer stance, but 10 days there is 10 days I will never get back. 10 consecutive days in Iowa. And I
Wow.
live in Arkansas.
When I was a
So
kid,
I have low
Wow, that's saying a lot.
standards are low.
yeah, it is. Standards are 0, and you like Iowa like unexceeded those standards.
Indeed.
The floor is the ceiling.
Truly.
The floor is really the ceiling in times like these.
So,
Okay.
Mike, how's your
Um,
Saturday been?
I will save some of that for later.
Okay.
Um, but I worked today. I opened at 9:30 this morning. I was
Boo.
5 minutes late to work today because I couldn't find my sunglasses. I have very, very nice Nike sunglasses, could not find them. So I threw on my cheap Michelob Ultra sunglasses. Shouts to Michelob Ultra. Free ads. The top 10 elite beer of all time. I left my
Fair
sunglasses
enough.
at work last night.
No free ads, but fair enough.
So at least I found them because they were kind of expensive. So I'm glad I found them. But yeah, I opened at 9:30 today and was busy until probably 1:30.
Heard that.
It's been a Saturday, but Michigan won and Oklahoma State won. So
Nice.
Couldn't
and
relate.
the Sooners got hog walloped by TCU today by a lot. Like that y'all don't understand how much that makes me happy. I absolutely hate the Sooners.
Pete
Hate the
Howell.
Sooners.
I am hoping
The-
that Georgia gets a win tonight. As far as my even
Why
mild
would you?
allegiances,
Why
my
would you hope that?
I like Kirby.
Fair enough.
Wait, you're rooting
Pittman.
for Georgia?
Yes, I like Georgia. I'll go there. I like Jake
No,
Fromm. I had a
no.
crush. It's fine. I can have
Aaron
So
feelings
Murray
for
got
Jake Fromm.
the worst on camera sack of all time. His face looked like he was dead. But no, we need Georgia to lose so Michigan moves up. I have a strong belief that Michigan should have we should okay. So detour. Aiden Hutchinson against Michigan State had a tackle, strip sack, ruled a touchdown in Michigan's favor, overturned. Should not have been overturned. 100% it was a strip sack in the end zone. Michigan should have won that game. Should have been undefeated. Okay, so we're undefeated. We enter as number one because we're undefeated. The only undefeated team. We enter as number one. Okay, we play Cincinnati. Blow the doors off Cincinnati. Shouts to Sauce Gardner and who is it, Malik Willis? Was he
no,
Cincy? Or is it
Malik
Desmond?
Willis went
No,
to
Desmond
Liberty.
Ritter.
Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. Okay, shouts to those guys. We would have just hog walloped them with that defense. Like they wouldn't have known what to do with our defensive line. So then we make it to the college football playoff championship game where we go up against the winner of Georgia Alabama, which was clearly going to be Georgia. We lose, but we made it to the playoff semifinal or to the finals, which is further than Michigan State made it. And I rest my case as to why it was corrupt that we lost to Michigan State.
All right, moving on.
Well, okay.
All right, I think
Technically,
so.
technically, I would like to ask, how was your weekend? How's your
My
Saturday?
weekend had my Saturday has been wonderful. So, and as you all know, and to the people at home, I have been gone most weekends since the beginning of July, and I gotta tell you, just having a weekend to be at home with nothing planned, it's overcast and it's been raining outside. It's in the low 60, high 50s, low 60s. I gotta tell you, it has been absolutely incredible. I've got some stew in the crock pot downstairs. It's waiting for me for whenever we're finished recording. I've got I woke up this morning, made some coffee. I watched The Exorcist, and
Did
then
you wake up
took a
smelling like
shower
P Diddy?
every day.
Even better.
Every
P.
day.
Diddy's known for his love of fall things.
Yeah,
All
he
things
does smell
fall.
good.
I've
I
got.
smelled him in a dream twice.
Let's see. I've got. So I did. I watched a movie. What I took a shower. I watched some football. I went and did some grocery shopping to make the stew. I got my medication. Did a trip to Total Wine, re-upped on wine and beer, and since then I've been home just hanging out, man. It's been incredible. And tomorrow we've got nothing planned. My dad's coming by for probably 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna watch football and hang out, man. It's perfect,
I love that for you.
Yeah, you're really killing one of these first weekend of fall feelings.
dude.
Really
You
are.
have no idea how excited I am for fall. Like for
Ooh.
this weather coming up now, man. So I think I'm sure I've told you guys. So in my house that my girlfriend and I are renting right now, we have a wood fireplace, and man, I cannot tell you how stoked I am to light that first fire in the wood fireplace in my living room and watch TV and just chill and listen to the fire crackle and feel that heat, baby. I am pumped.
Not to interrupt, but quick. Deep shot by NC State down to about the Clemson 10. Deep shot.
That crackle is just Dabo's frustration. Just the crackle of fall. Um, I have been in the home. I bought it. It'll be 4 years, I guess, in November. Have a fireplace. I've never lit the fireplace, but I'm millennial scum, so
Yeah.
I also
So,
Luca, what
always.
time are we getting to Whitney? What time are we going to Whitney's tomorrow to get this fireplace lit?
yeah, I know, right? So we
I'll be there about 3:50.
yeah. So like I said, we're renting this house, um, and we moved in like April, and spring into summer. There's no reason to use a wood fireplace, so it just so before we
What
use the
about this summer when your
fireplace.
heater was out?
Okay, our air conditioning was out. If we used the wood fireplace, we would have
Yeah,
died.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I feel like that would have fixed the
so
problem.
so
It's a lot.
I definitely think we need to get the fireplace cleaned and like inspected before we use it. And lucky for us, it just so happens that my girlfriend's dad's best friend is a chimney sweep and has like a
Yeah.
chimney sweep business. So we're about to get that hookup
The
and
official Noah guy, the first Noah guy of Crappy Hour Pod.
the
I was recently bullied
official first Noah
for,
guy.
yeah, I was bullied for like
Everybody loves a good
having a
Noah guy.
guy for everything, like within the last week by a couple of peers. So, um, that certainly kind of feels like on brand for this
Who
crew.
is this?
So
Ooh, what if we put together a list of the crappiest guys that we know?
like in society,
Like, I know a guy, but he's really crappy at what he does. Like, hey, I know, yeah, I know you got a
Mm,
roofing problem. I know a guy, but
ooh,
he's so crappy at it.
like a worst of knowing guys. Like I wish I
Yeah,
didn't know a guy is what we'd
like,
really.
yeah, like Mount
Yeah,
Cratmore if I know a
yeah.
guy.
Like I wish I didn't know a
For the
guy
viewers at home,
that
Mount
crapped
Cratmore.
that
We'll learn more.
I wish I didn't know a guy that crapped in his shoe in Algebra 1. I wish I didn't know that guy, but I do. So, yeah. I wish I
I
didn't
have
know.
the greatest story ever for the pod, and I'm going to use that for week 1.
It's always week 1 in my heart. So I didn't get to live the fall dream today because it was, well, of course, I sent the two of you a photo because I was trying to create the fall ambiance here by listening to If, Kipling poem, trying to have a beautiful moment. And it was 69 degrees and it hasn't rained here in like 3 weeks. It was nice out, some might say, but a little warm. And I got what might potentially be the last jort wearing day of the fall season, whether it be due to rotator cuff surgery or just the onset of fall. But the jorts may be retired until April. I
Imagine
Fair.
living not in Michigan and complaining about George season being too short.
Yeah. I went outside for a little while and tried to paint a shelf, but my neighbors were yelling at each other, and then one of my bosses drove by and witnessed me um, in some really tacky shoes and jorts in my own yard. So I am not exactly living the fall dream, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Speaking of really tacky
We love that.
shoes,
Tell me everything.
I recently got a pair of fur-lined camo Crocs, as you can see featured here. Fur-lined. I wouldn't have bought them full price, but I went to the shoe store and they were 50% off, so I couldn't say no. Turns out, great purchase. I've absolutely loved them. But so
I just got a pair.
I was recently served a Facebook or Instagram ad from Amazon, and on said ad was custom flashlights that you can get that stick into Crocs.
So
They're little tiny lights that have the Croc, like go and plug into the holes, and you put them on your Crocs.
Please get
and they have
them.
lights that go out.
So
How sweet would that be?
100% have an ex that owns those same Crocs, and I didn't know where you were going with the ad that was served to you statement. And so you said served, and I thought you were about to say papers, and I really assumed that if someone was going to lead off a story with papers being served and camo fur-lined Crocs, that it was probably going to be the southernmost member of this podcast. And I was feeling a little threatened, quite
I
frankly.
mean, in all fairness, he does live in Virginia.
Hey, Virginia's pretty southern, man.
You're not West Virginia. But you're
I
close.
know someone who dated a sibling. Okay?
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna win the white trash off here.
Oh,
I don't-
I don't
Confident.
claim to win the white.
Oh, I'm
So
not
Buka.
proud, but I just know I can win it.
Buka. The
Let's hear
rumor
it.
on the street is that we're about to do a Mount Crapmore. And you have a
What's
special
that?
sponsorship for that Mount Crapmore.
I have a special sponsorship.
Yeah, you get to sponsor Mount Crapmore.
Ooh. So, for our upcoming Mount Crapmore, for those who don't know, Mount Crapmore is, like we said, we hear the positive, we hear what everyone loves, we hear what, everyone's doing. We want to do something a little different, things that we don't like. And so for our Mount Crapmore, this Mount Crapmore is going to be sponsored by our good friends over at Light Patio Talk. Light Patio Talk is a podcast, discussing basically whatever. They talk vibes, they talk music, they talk just what's going on
No
in the
dweebs.
state of. No dweebs. Not a single dweeb is around.
And I know we're looking for the negative a lot of times, but with light, I mean, it's good vibes there. Like, if you're looking for the
I
lift,
haven't found a negative.
yeah.
The negative of Light Patio Talk is that there is no negative.
Yes. Yeah. For me, truly, as a cynic.
Other than the haters and the dweebs.
Yep.
But luckily,
The haters
there are
and the
no
dweebs
dweebs.
are furious that Light Patio Talk even exists.
it
Yes.
came
Oh, for sure.
back. It came back. Just like Ray J on Kim K, it came back.
So shout out to my guy Lil
Yeah.
Patio. Shout out Light Patio Talk. This segment of Mount Crapmore is brought to you by Light Patio Talk.
Also, go follow Light Patio Talk on Twitter at Light Patio Talk.
At Light Patio Talk on
That's the
Twitter,
same
Light Patio
Twitter that you
Talk
can
on
find
Apple
me at.
Podcasts.
At Light Patio Talk on eBay Motors. Oh wait, no, wrong.
At Light Patio Talk on
You
Instagram.
can also, while you're on Twitter, you can follow me at O'Halligans, OHALLAGANS, where it's always nickel shot night.
Follow me at Diddly
Anybody else
Poo.
want to selflessly plug?
At Diddly Poo. That's at DIDDLYPOOO. Diddly Poo.
Emphasis on the poo.
Just to be clear, that's at Diddly Poo.
Poo.
Diddly Poo.
At Paging Dr. Crutch over here, you will find me as Dr. Adolph P. Sponge, as a shout out to the con man Chris O'Connor till further notice. Solid nickname choice, my dude.
You'll also find me as R.I.P. Dr. Fishy,
For the boy.
also known as the Fuck Ted Cruz guy.
All
I
right,
am Boogity Guapo.
so if we're
introduction.
oh, go ahead.
Mount Crapmore. Basically, think Mount Rushmore, but the crappy things. So, like the crappiest things instead of the best. And today we're going to be doing a 3-man Mount Crapmore. So instead of choosing 4 like a typical Mount Rushmore would, we're only going to be choosing 3. But today we're going to be discussing the worst things about fall, which is kind of weird. 'Cause fall's a good season. Fall's a great season.
Fall's my favorite season.
But it's a fabulous season. Who wants to go first? Oldest to youngest.
I don't know
Who's
how
oldest?
old you all are because numbers are really difficult.
28.
Not as old as you.
Whoo,
Not as old
okay.
as you.
All right. So
Shots fired. 30.
dang. Mine is I am going to if we're truly drafting here, then I could go for a potential steal on what I think based on recent complaints in the crew. I could go for that. But
Also,
Are you talking about stealing my ideas?
maybe. But I'm not. I'm going to go with one that impacts me a little more on the having to see a doctor level. I'm going to take with my number 1, the sinus and allergy situation in fall is ruining my life even more than it just naturally is destroyed. And quite frankly, I know very little about science or the human body. I didn't know the difference between a heart rate and blood pressure until about 3 years ago because, I'm just not good at the old sciences. But when I look at the plumbing setup on sinuses on human beings, I just think it could have been done a little better. And I made this realization. What is happening? That's probably what it sounds like in my sinuses. But I look at it and it looks like when they did like test piloting projects on like adding like side graphics from factory on a Civic or just like a design flaw that companies would instantly look at and be like, oh, that's an easy fix. We can do better. We just need to put a little science into this. When I see sinuses and how they function or don't in the human body, I'm just like, we can do better than this. But again, my actual being able to execute that very limited. But that's my number 1. My allergies. I'm just dying right now. And it's so dusty.
Apologies about that. My phone decided to start playing "Sleep" by My Chemical Romance, whose lead singer wrote The Umbrella Academy, which I'm in the middle of reading. Phenomenal series. You guys should check it out. Support your local libraries.
When he has that aggressive of a cut on his shirt, does he have to pay like commission to Steven Tyler? Like, is it copyrighted on a musical front or?
No, it's Gerard Way. He is the second coming of Jesus. He can do whatever he wants.
Steven Tyler and everyone's Nana, who looks just like Steven Tyler, would like a word.
Okay, so you took your sinuses, which yeah, sinuses suck.
No, not mine
So
specifically.
that leaves
It
me
impacts
with
me. It's everyone.
just in general. So with number two, this is an interesting one. So number two, I'm gonna put my crappiest thing about fall is Ohio State University because they play
Mm,
football in the fall. And as a Michigan fan, I absolutely I'm gonna do Ohio State and OU. I'm just gonna do your rivals, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame. As a Michigan and Oklahoma State fan, growing up, being from Michigan, growing up in Oklahoma, uh, big fan of Michigan and Oklahoma State. I hate Notre Dame, I hate Ohio State, and I hate Oklahoma. Generally speaking, all three of those teams win 10 to 11 games every season.
right.
If not, they go perfect. And as much as I love watching my teams win, I hate even more watching those teams win.
Mm.
So like Rutgers scored first against Ohio State today, and I was literally half chub at the thought of Ohio State losing. And then Ohio State
Wouldn't that have been
and like
great?
put up 28 consecutive that I saw. Yeah, like it's inevitable. Oklahoma does the same thing. When I was at work today, I saw they were down like 51-17 or some shit. And my first thought was they're gonna come back and win this. But they didn't.
A
They didn't.
Saturday
So
miracle.
yeah, my crappiest thing is watching my rival teams win. Puka?
Boots.
So, for my number one crappiest thing of fall, I'm going to go with getting out of the shower in the morning. Having to adjust from going from, you know, you have a nice warm shower in the morning, you get out, it's, 70 something degrees outside, maybe even in the 80s, nice and warm in your bathroom already, you get out no problem. That first time
Are you
that
guys
you
gonna
take a
kill me if I
shower,
take a quick tinky break? No.
no,
You you keep
I was on
going.
a
You
roll.
keep
I
going.
was on a roll.
Keep going. You get out of the shower.
So, that first time that you get out of the shower and you feel that chill in the morning, there is nothing worse than opening that shower door or pulling that shower curtain back and feeling that just rush of cool air hitting you, and it makes your whole body just shiver. um I mean, I have a bathrobe that I never really used before and never really had to use. But I've recently started, when I get out of the shower in the morning, it's in the 50s outside, so it's a bit chilly. So I'll get out of the shower, dry myself off real quick, and I'll throw that bathrobe on while I'm drying my hair and, getting ready. And ooh, boy, does that robe make a difference.
Bathrobes are special, man. I really hope that as life is progressing, we're moving quickly into the bathrobe season of our lives. That's all I can hope for at
Oh,
this point.
oh, I am here and ready for it, baby.
I went buffalo plaid on the bathrobe recently because I wanted to dedicate, to it.
Nice.
And I'm excited. It's still really hot here, but I'm excited to head into that stage.
I've got a nice. Whoa. I have a nice plush. I think it's Nautica bathrobe, but man, does that thing just it changes my whole morning. You know, when I get out of the
I have like
shower
a
and I feel
cheap
that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say when I get out of the shower and I feel that first chill, it is just demoralizing because when I have to go into the office, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting out of the shower at 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, and that first chill, it is just it is on par with like something that could absolutely ruin my day. And when I just take that
It's the
bathrobe
worst.
off, I take that bathrobe off the hook and I throw it on, and boy, it changes my whole worldview in the morning.
It's a warm hug, man.
Did I tell you guys what I did in a robe the other day?
Am I gonna have to report this?
So I have so I have, and so we're in a new apartment. You guys both know that. So that door right there goes to the bathroom for this bedroom, which is just my recording room and game room. And in that bathroom, there's the door to the walk-in closet, and they're quite large. So I have a chair in there, and then I have like an air filter and some air fresheners, and like that's where I have my dab set up and stuff. So uh, I don't smoke flower indoors. I smoke it on my patio where I talk lightly. Um, every now and then, if I do want to
Understandably.
like hit a pipe or something, just a quick little pull, I'll puff it in that smoking room because it's in there so the smell doesn't get out to the whole apartment. And again, I live in a legal state, so it doesn't really matter. But like, I don't want my whole place to smell like weed.
Right.
So I sat I sat in my bathroom or bathrobe on the chair that I have in there, and I have a bowl. It's probably yay tall, and it's got like the seven chakra stones on it. It looks like something Gandalf would use. Like it's wooden stone. I love it. I literally sat there for like an hour and a half the other day, read the entire first volume of Umbrella Academy while I was just puffing on my chakra pipe, and it in my bathrobe. Phenomenal experience. 10 out of 10. Uh,
Dude,
I'm probably gonna finish this one tonight. This Umbrella Academy Volume 3 while
dude.
sitting in a bathrobe.
That
It
that
sounds
dick
it sounds so magical. I'm shocked you didn't finish already.
man, that dick and ball airflow
Well, I
you get
finished.
from sitting
I'm just gonna do
down.
it again.
That dick and ball airflow
The
you
what?
get from sitting down in a bathrobe
Robe.
is second to none.
Dude. My new
I
favorite thing is getting home from work at 5 in the afternoon, taking a shower, throwing my sweats on, but going with no drawers on. Just rocking.
Mm,
Normally it would
mm,
be just sweats and a hoodie. No t-shirt, no
mm,
boxers, just
mm.
free balling.
so
Talk dirty to me, baby.
I had
Verbal meme. Verbal meme.
I had an
The 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 guy and the girl laying in bed. Oh,
Mm.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if we're going robe stories, I had a neighbor growing up that there was probably he has since passed, but the police were involved a few times on a few investigations of the heavy drug sort. But when he would take his mail, when he'd go get his mail, but particularly when he would take his trash out, he was going with a similar route. But aging had a very different impact on this poor gentleman. And so all of the neighborhood kids had a pretty scarring angle of this elderly, drug riddled gentleman for his passion for robes. So it hasn't always been such a beautiful relationship that I have with them now. We had to get through some things in therapy, but I'm supporting robes now. My friends, get to
Big
indulge.
shouts to Ross Bowling for freaking the ropes.
Oh yeah,
You've made it through to the other side, Whitney.
I have.
I'm
I've
proud of you
forgiven
for
them.
it.
Like, yeah,
I'm
we've
so
made
proud of you for it.
breakthroughs. Shout out to Autumn, my therapist. Get it, girl.
Go
And on
Autumn.
the season for bringing ropes back in.
Yes. Yeah. What? Yeah. Exactly. Like,
All
shout
right,
out to all the Autumns.
Luca, we're in the snake draft. Hey, what if
Okay.
episode 2 we were all in our robes?
That's fine.
We'd
I'm
have to
down.
label it not safe for work.
I think we have to label every episode NSFW.
If we were to
We
pick
talked
a
about the dick
different,
and ball breeze in a row. This has to be NSFW.
I think if we were to even pick a different name, I think not safe for work would probably be a good option.
I reckon
Um,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our
So
standing
we're
logo
going-
right now is a dog taking a shit. So
All right. We're rounding the
So
snake.
we're going snake draft.
Yeah.
Okay. With my number 2 pick, I'll be honest, I'm gonna have to go with layering. You know, there's a special place in my heart for layering. I love wearing different layers. I love putting on, a nice long sleeve shirt and a pullover and a jacket. But the process of going through to finding the right combination and having to do something different, daily, based on just the changes in the weather patterns. I mean, Virginia, I'm sure, I don't know what it's like where y'all are. Uh, Virginia weather patterns are just completely unpredictable. And um, the day in and day out having to decide what I'm going to wear in order to be warm in one scenario and cool in the other it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute shit show, and having to
I would.
figure out the proper combination of layering daily is in my top 3 worst parts of fall.
It makes
I
you
would argue
really.
that the worst part of layering is that when you want to be cool, if you have all those layers on, you either have to inconveniently put them in a bag that's probably already full with a
Right.
laptop or work
Right.
stuff,
Right.
or carry them. And if you happen to have a beverage in your hand, that limits your ability to use your phone and
Oh, I don't I
first world
don't
problems. But like we're on
I
our
don't
phones,
I
so
don't bring I don't bring coffee with me on the train to the office anymore. I can't. I mean, the cup holders are too small, so I have to either hold it or put it next to me and worry about it falling over. And so I just try and sleep on the train in the morning because I have a nice long train ride for my commute. So
It makes you
I
really kind of understand like hoodie and shorts kid. Like I assume they were
yeah.
less common where y'all are, but in the
Oh
South,
no,
I
they
mean,
were here.
yeah, well,
I grew up in Oklahoma. I was hoodie and shorts kid.
hoodie and shorts kids
I'm still
still
hoodie and
they're
shorts kid.
flourishing right now. I mean, you didn't know if they'd make it through COVID with the mask. You didn't know if it would affect their internal body temp, but COVID and shorts
I'm
kids, they're still
30.
attending public schools and I mean, they're kind of having a moment.
They're
And
thriving.
yeah,
I'm
and
30 and
I
I'm
kind
still
of
hoodie and
get it.
shorts kid.
I'm so
Legs don't get
non-confrontational.
cold.
I'm so non-confrontational
Your
that
legs don't
now
get cold.
I'm just
Yes,
like
they do.
I'm just thinking maybe like I should have just given up the battle years
Yes,
ago and
they do.
become hoodies and shorts kid and then just dedicated to it for my entire life because now it's whatever.
So you're an adult,
Yes, allegedly.
presumably. You wear jorts,
Yeah, not
admittedly, on
not
this
a
very
lot. I
podcast.
bought them as jorts. I didn't cut them into jorts.
I can run the tape. There's only one episode. I can run the tape.
They're
You
jorts.
cannot be jorts adult and hate on hoodie and shorts kid because they're the same person.
What if they're ironic jorts? What
Tell
if
me
I
the difference.
wore them with my grizzly
Do you have
big?
a favorite pair of jorts?
No, I have one or two pairs of jorts. I own
Okay.
less
Raise your
jorts
hand if
now
you
than
do
my
not own a
father
pair of
I'll
owns.
jorts.
I'll be honest. I have a pair of jorts.
Thank you.
They are
Thank you.
legitimate cut off jorts that I got from Target. However, my favorite pair of jorts that I've ever owned were my last pair of jorts, and they were ones that I bought a pair of jeans from Goodwill when I was in college. Um, I just got them off the rack, tried them on, they fit. I cut them off to wear for a Hulk Hogan Halloween costume. I did not realize until after I cut them off and tried them on and was wearing them that they were actually mom jeans that had been put on the wrong rack. So they had an elastic waistband and no back pockets. And so I had these cut off mom jean shorts. And I shit you not, they were the most comfortable shorts I've ever worn. They had been washed so many times, they were butter soft denim. And Oh my god, they were the best shorts I've ever owned, and I miss them every day. I I wore them until I squatted down one time and the seam on the crotch just straight ripped wide open.
Were you doing your Kegels in them? Like,
I
See, you guys
I was
know John
not
and
doing
Claire on
Kegels.
Twitter, right?
Oh yeah, of course, John and Claire. Shout out John and Claire. I love you, John and Claire.
Yeah, shout out to John and Claire. I think it's at John Davis Film and at Claire the Red Beret. There may be
I
some
still
actors in there. I don't know.
I still have John
Um,
saved in my phone as John Davis, Claire's husband.
mine is Claire Can
I
Fly and John Davis, Claire's husband.
Mine is Claire CB and John CB, and Whitney is Whitney CB, and Buka I think is Andrew Buka because I already had an Andrew CB for Detmer. Anyway, so Megan and I were going down to Chicago, and I think it might be the first time that we met John and Claire in person. And keep in mind, we've met them probably 10 times now. Like we went down to their to Claire's families to go watch the Super Bowl. We stayed with them for the Turnpike show. Um, really good friends with John and Claire personally now. But the first time we met them, I cut off a pair of jeans that I got from Route 21 to Daisy Duke jorts level.
Mm.
And then I wore a chicken wing chain that Megan got from Shein and a Patrice Bergeron captain's jersey from the Bruins. And that's what I wore to meet John and Claire for the first time. And I actually had this shirt underneath it.
Book,
Shouts to the Washed Athletic Club.
Book, have you met John and Claire in person?
I have not met John and Claire in person. I had
'Cause
the
they-
opportunity to. I was in Chicago last Labor Day weekend, and they invited me to their house for our fantasy football draft. And I was at a music festival and did my draft from my phone in the back of an Uber.
So I technically haven't got. I was thinking we might could like
And I
have
got third
mutually
place.
all met through them, but because they got gas at a really podunk gas station about 12 miles from here, and so I feel like that's as close as I get to meeting new people. But if you haven't got to meet them in person, I guess we're at about the same level. Yeah.
They're fantastic people to meet in person. I love them. John is a hoot. Claire gets sassy with John.
His obsession with
sometimes, and it's
Malort
great.
is
It's great.
concerning.
It really is.
It's disturbing. And so he's got me hooked. Every time I go to Chicago, I have to have a shot of Malort. And every time I take it, I'm like, oh my God, this tastes like fucking bug killer off. Why would you drink this? And then it hits me like, hey, you ordered this, buddy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I did.
I think
Yeah.
Malort
Usually, a little. So
Malort is proof that I would probably stay in an abusive relationship. I mean, not to get too dark, but like you keep going back and
should I FaceTime John right now and ask him why he loves Malort?
no,
Yes.
but I just,
Rock,
yes,
paper, scissors, go.
Yes. Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, okay.
I only have one arm, dude. I can't.
New FaceTime.
I mean, I
All right,
have
John,
to,
you better answer.
but-
This is our first ever attempted live call on the pod. We're running way behind schedule, by the way, but it doesn't even matter. This is going to be a great first epi. Come on, John.
Well, we'll have to cut something short because I'm worried about Bukas do vicariously as a cat.
It's 8:45. There's no way John's asleep.
Stop
No
being Eastern time zone.
7:45 Central.
Yeah.
It's 8:45, 7:45 Central, and you're watching KXII, which is the local CBS affiliate in Ardmore, Oklahoma. John didn't answer. Should I try his wife?
No, she's probably in the air. Air.
You guys took like more than 8 seconds. This is great podcasting.
Yeah,
by the
no,
way.
it's yeah,
No, I love this dead air.
yeah. It's beautiful.
It's fantastic. Hey, Claire.
This
I can't
audio
talk
is
right now. I'm at the
really
meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
funeral.
Bye. Movie.
Oh.
Significantly less depressing.
Mm.
But being crappy
Okay.
hour, I like how your mind went to literally the crappiest reason to not be able to talk.
Yeah, I'm in the right mindset, and it's a Saturday night
Oh,
too.
no,
So
my
I'm like,
friend can't
people are
watch
wild
Sunday
out.
night.
They're going to funerals. People are turning up at a funeral right now. It's totally.
What we don't know is it's not actually a movie. John is actually at a funeral just ripping shots of Malort, being like, "This is for the dead one."
So I can
I
tell
hope
this.
John and
So
Claire
this is
listen to
all
this. They have
public.
to.
This is all public data. There was actually a case within 10 miles of my hometown where two guys were arrested for stealing their grandmother's body from the morgue and dancing with her and throwing a party.
Oh, I remember you sending us shit
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. It was
Nothing
it
about
was
this
like a
is surprising
few
more
months
than
before I was born.
Arkansas.
What was that, Mike?
I said nothing is surprising about that. You live in Arkansas,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah, it's my
Okay,
my
so
Hey, all right, Mike, what's your
so my
second worst thing about fall?
it's very similar to yours. Have you ever lived in a house that has like ceramic or hardwood floors
Yes.
in the bathroom?
Yes.
When
Cold
you,
floors.
when you get out of the cold floors, it's the cold floors. It's not the chill on your body that's the worst. It's the cold floors. It doesn't even have to be the bathroom.
I
Our
disagree.
bedroom is carpeted, and then it's hardwood.
Whitney, do you wear
The cold
shower
floors
shoes
don't
in your
have
own
time.
house?
No, I wear flip flops in my own house, like a civilized Jimmy Buffett fan. Jesus Christ!
Well,
Wait, in the
we were
shower?
talking about cold floors in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
I wear
and you pick up your
flip-flops.
flip flops.
I wear flip flops at all times. They're like
Do
house
you-
shoes that have
do
4-wheel drive.
Do you get out of the shower and slide into your flip flops?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, yes, I have
That's-
since I was 13.
That's
I'm
That's
never
insane.
barefoot. No. I assume it's part of the OCD thing, but yeah. And
I would
Specifically-
that is 100% part of the OCD thing.
specifically reef fannings, and I will wear no other style of flip flop. And I've
Do you,
owned
you
legitimately.
got a bottle
Legitimately?
opener on them bitches?
I keep that thing on me, and I've kept that thing on me at all times since age 13. Legitimately, I've had over 50 pairs.
You got a
A
bottle
reef
opener on them
fanning.
bitches?
It can be used as a weapon when needed, and
She does.
I have thrown it and used it as a weapon.
Look at her face.
Hey.
She looks so happy.
I'm giddy.
For
she
those of you
she
not
has
watching on YouTube, I wish you could see her face.
I even
she
have a
has
sign.
those changes in latitudes, the changes in attitudes.
I
and
even
nothing
have
remains
a
quite the
sign
same.
that I got for Christmas because I hate Christmas, and the best friend.
Why
got
do you
it.
hate? Wait.
We'll get to a
Why
hate
do you
winner
hate
next
Christmas?
week. We'll get
Okay.
to a hate
We're-
winner.
we
next
we will
week.
have to discuss this at length at a further.
Got this
episode,
gift
but-
for Christmas.
I'm
It's
with
a
Whitney.
sign
Makes
that I
sense.
can roll in with my robe next time that says it's never too cold for flip flops. Legitimately, that sign is in my entryway right now because it is. And I almost wore my Jimmy Buffett
don't-
shirt tonight, but you wouldn't see it because of the
I
jacket.
don't disagree. It's never too cold for flip flops. But like, you're at home, bro. Take your fucking shoes off.
Why would I do that when I could have my
Enjoy
shoes
your
on?
life. That's why you're a Packers fan. You love misery.
Yeah.
You just love misery.
No, misery would be walking without anything under my feet like a peasant. So
Whitney, I view you so differently now.
I think I've never been told
I'm-
that this is weird.
Anyway,
guys.
so welcome back to Crappy Hour with your host, Michael, and the only co-host, Andrew Buka. We had a third, but we lost her to the flip-flop conundrum.
I've never been
Yes.
told that this is weird ever.
It's
Um,
weird.
I've never been told that this is
Again.
weird ever. But is this
Again,
proof?
you
Am
live
I
in
like
Arkansas.
am I the elder millennial statesman of am I some off brand of shorts and
I'm
hoodie
millennial as shit, too.
person?
No, I'm millennial, too. Buka's millennial. None of
I'm millennial
that
too.
shoes inside is not millennial.
But am I like a glitch in the coding of a kid that was supposed to be shorts and hoodie kid that they're like, oh God,
No,
we
you're just
got
fucking
the
weird, bro.
we got the recipe all wrong, and now she won't stop wearing flip flops indoors. Legitimately, I have 3 pairs of the exact same set of flip-flops at the end of my bed. I will get 6 flip-flops. Okay, wait, hold on.
Nope. Instead of flip flops, give us your second pick for the
Well,
crap
all right,
because
I'm
we are
gonna
running
say
way
crap.
over on
Yeah,
time.
weird.
Okay, all right.
We're getting
Worst
there.
of all, my second round pick, I'm gonna go with something that's not cliche at all, and say leaves because I'm gonna steal Buka's because if it's still here by this round, he's not appreciating it enough. I have my
That
home.
was just my first thought.
I
You
have.
went back to
I'm-
back.
I'm
Yeah, you
dreading
had
it.
back to back and you let it go. I
I'm
have
dreading
a
raking
ton
leaves.
of leaves. I have a pending shoulder surgery lurking. I've already had to have the leaf blower out. It's an absolute nightmare and it's dusty and it's gross. So it just adds to my
Whitney,
first
I'm
time.
going to save your life. Let me save your life. You have shoulder pain? Do
Lick
you
your
know what's
butthole.
good for shoulder pain?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know. I swear, if I come back for my MRI, if my dad goes to my MRI, like I'm gonna be like, I'm allergic to the contrast that they use, so it makes me like too sick, and my dad has to drive me because it makes me so sick, and he's gonna be like, "Hey Whit, hey Whit, hey Whit, guess what? Guess what's good for that shoulder pain? If you lick my butthole," and I'm gonna punch him. And that's exactly how that's gonna
When
go.
you come back from the meds, you're also going to have texts from me and Buka telling you
Yeah.
to lick our bowels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
100%.
What if the surgeon is just like, ma'am, I don't have to cut this open. There's another fix.
You
And
can
I'm
just lick
just
my
like,
butthole. Imagine that's the secret, Buka. You go to get your shoulder operated on, and they're like, "Hey, dude, I'll give you 3 weeks off paid from work if you just lick my butthole." And you're just like, "Fuck it."
Dude,
quick slip
I-
on that.
I
That's
I
the worst
would
audio ever.
I would
recorded
be
on
in
the
there
podcast.
like swimwear, bro. If you were telling me you're giving me 3 weeks paid off from work,
yeah.
show,
I'm a
show,
Pokemon. Call me Lickitung.
So
show me that opening, bro.
I'm gonna roll us into the third round, and I'm gonna call an audible. Let's make this my quick riser. I think it's pulling. If we're gonna compare it to
Quick riser.
a move on the 2022 draft board. This is going to be the Damian Pierce. It's gaining ground on the ADP quick. But I'm going to go for the fact that I can no longer wear flip-flops outdoors. That's
I can't say I
why.
relate.
Well, y'all have driven me to this point. I'm giving up my other pick to say the fact that
Right.
I have to go to wearing, and more importantly, and I love a good classic sock, but the fact that I have to go back to washing fall clothing instead of, because I layer up and the washing quantity is just through the roof with workplace clothes, outside of work clothes. In the summer,
Wait.
I'm just jorts, flip-flops, American dream.
Whitney, are the mental institutions near you good or bad?
We've already given a shout out to my therapist, Autumn, so I would like to circle back to the fact that I think she's fantastic.
No, that's great. I was more interested in the like inpatient facilities, somewhere we could, house you for
You
a
may
while.
think she's great. Buka does not. He thinks
So just not impressed. Well, look, I'm walking out on that.
I side with Buka.
I just want to know if there's
Oh, right.
somewhere we can send you for a little while to, talk
Buka, we
things
did it.
over.
It
for
took
a
one
bit.
episode. We finally got rid of her. We got rid of her. It took one episode. The over-under was 3.5. The under hit, join the Lunders Club. Okay, so
What's going to be your
just to be
last
clear,
pick?
she's left the building, and she had too cold for flip-flops outdoors, but she admittedly, again, we can run the tape, there's only one episode, she admittedly said, oh my god.
One.
it's
Oh my god,
disgusting.
she's got handfuls of flip-flops.
Two.
She also said she owns a sign that says it's never too cold for flip-flops, and then admitted it's
Three.
too cold for flip-flops. So,
And with my bad shoulder hold and salute with the incorrect hand the American flag bottle opener reefs.
Those are for special
that-
occasions.
Saying the formals,
Those are for special occasions
the
only.
formal
Wait, no,
wear.
you gotta if you salute, don't finish it with the.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
not.
you gotta.
Do not.
Don't fully extend.
Extend.
Don't do this.
I can't. I
Nobody
can't even.
screenshots
I
that
have to
either.
lift it with this arm to salute, and then to stretch it out like. I like have to do like this, and my stepmother, who in general isn't very harsh about like her jokes, she's pretty kind with them, but she's like, "My goodness, it's like walking around with somebody who's saying the pledge at all times." I was like, "Thank you for that. That's great. Thank you." Because I'm just
I
like,
bet
To
the
the flame.
overly conservative Arkansas rednecks really appreciate
"Oh
that.
yeah, they just are like, that's the opposite of Colin Kaepernick right there. Look at her."
So my third and final pick, Megan's gonna listen to this, so this might be the last
God bless
episode
her.
I ever appear on.
God bless her.
But the third crappiest thing for me about fall is my girlfriend's reaction to fall, because to quote my old assistant manager Isaac. Bro, your living room looks like TJ Maxx and Home Goods got into a fight and then threw up in there. I got home from work last night to 4 women sitting on my floor carving pumpkins and making fall crafts. I have 3 gourds in front of my sound bar, preventing perfect sound. You know what? We might not have time for our final segment because we might get cut off. I hope it
That's
doesn't.
okay.
It shouldn't.
That's
It
okay.
shouldn't. But yeah, no, it's just the absurd amount of decorations that I have in my living room. Because my girlfriend, got a degree in photography, but she should have got a degree. Not that she shouldn't have it in photography, Megan, babe. I love you. You are a phenomenal photographer and you're great at it. She's even better at interior design because this woman, I'm telling you, if you gave her an unlimited budget, she could convince you that it is fall in the middle of spring. She could turn an outdoor tent in Antarctica and make you think that you were like on a beach in like Playa del Rey.
Yeah, I went in
Oh,
Hobby
yeah.
Lobby last week, and it looked like some sort of attack had occurred. There were it's a good attack. I'm
It
all for
looks like
fall,
I-
but then
It looks like October 22nd in Vermont in my apartment right now.
but they had the Christmas stuff sneaking in with its greedy little paws already.
So we're actually getting a box of Halloween decorations from my mom. I talked to her the other day. She said, I don't really decorate for Halloween that much anymore. So I have a bunch of decorations if you want them. I'll put them all in a box and you can have them. I said, okay, cool. So I talked to her yesterday, I think. And she was telling me what kinds of decorations she had. And she's like, oh, so there's a pumpkin carving kit in there. I was like, oh, awesome. We're going to get pumpkins. And then she goes, there's also a strobe light in there. I was like, okay. Strobe light, cool. She goes, there's a CD of spooky Halloween sounds. I was like, Mom, what the fuck am I going to put a CD even into? And she said, oh, there's all kinds of stuff in there. You just have to look through it. It's like, okay, so
I got me an
you're gonna give me
8-track
so
of
you're
Elvis
basically you're
Christmas
giving me
album.
a box of junk that I might get one piece of useful decoration out of.
No, it sounds like you're getting a bundle of blessings. Yeah, but I see an Eagles Greatest Hits Volume 2 up front. Mine is actually, I'll cover up in case he doesn't want the shout out, but my local hypnotist recording.
I got
Fleetwood
Fleetwood
Mac.
Mac. I got Gordon Lightfoot. I got the Eagles. I got Skinner.
I
And
have
I
a
also
pack of extra
regrettably
gum.
have Kid Rock.
I have a pack of extra gum that opens like this.
The Zach Wilson story is all I still have, and then 8 flip flops. But
The
I
Zach
don't.
Wilson story about how he's a cougar hunter. He's more successful than Ted Nugent.
Football and philosophy going deep.
All right. What kind of time we
messed
got
up the
left?
autofocus on my camera.
Well,
So I don't think we're going to be limited. I think it's just whenever I stop. But you know what? Let's go ahead and hit our third and final segment today. This is called Company Time, where the boss makes $1 and we make a dime, and that's why we're all shitting on Company Time. It's a once a week segment where we discuss the shittiest things that have happened at work this week. I don't know what happened to my camera quality. Everyone watching on YouTube, I feel bad, but you're gonna have to deal with it today.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, it sucks.
yeah, my lighting shifted
just-
after
it
the
dropped.
flip flop moment, but it's fine. This too shall
It's
pass.
supposed to autofocus. It's not. Let me move it and then
I like to move it.
Ooh,
Ooh,
there we go.
there we go. So yeah, let's talk about the shittiest things that happened to us at work this week. I can start off with today. Today is Saturday.
Please.
It's football Saturday. I had to wake up at 8:30 in the morning, get ready for work. Was late for work because I couldn't find my expensive sunglasses. They were at work. Opened at 10, about 10:15, fellow walks in to update his SIM card because T-Mobile, I work for T-Mobile, everybody. We bought Sprint a while back, and we are in the middle of shutting down Sprint's network and implementing T-Mobile's network. So we're in the process of doing what's called TNX. Basically, we're giving old Sprint customers T-Mobile SIM cards so they can access our network. Long story short, you just need a new SIM card if you were a Sprint customer, right? We started telling people about a year ago we're going to shut your service down if you don't come get this damn SIM card. Like, just come get it. It's not that hard. We'll send them to you. Just put it in. So a guy comes in. I go to do it. It killed his phone. It said invalid SIM, wouldn't read it. It turns out this guy has not updated his phone since January of 2020
Hmm.
and has
The
a
simple
$200 Android budget phone.
Yeah.
And on
Good old
Android, when
days.
you do updates, so if you have an iPhone and you're on iOS 13 and you haven't upgraded to 16 yet, and you click upgrade to 16, it just downloads iOS 16, and the only thing it downloads is what's different from iOS whatever you have, right? So it only downloads a select few amount of files. With Android, it goes, hey, there have been 13 updates since you updated last. Go ahead and download each one at a time and install them one at a time.
Tight.
Yeah, I guarantee my
So
dad.
I had to
would
get
have
this
to
guy's
do
phone
something.
2 years up to date.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a manager there with me, and I'm technically like not management, but I'm a key holder. So we have our store manager, assistant manager, me, the rest of the experts. So there were things that needed to be done today that I couldn't do because I don't have manager codes. And we had a line, there was like 5-6 customers in the store at all times, only 2 reps. One's our newest guy. So there's things that he just doesn't know yet. And it's not his fault. It's just things he hasn't experienced yet. Because you can't train for every single situation that you'll experience on the floor. So I'm trying to help him. Another guy comes in. I'm helping him. So I'm helping 2 other reps at this time while doing 2 transactions at a time on my own. So I'm essentially running 4 transactions right now on tablets. Looking like Doc Ock out here at the T-Mobile. And so what's normally a dead Saturday because football and we all sit around and we watch football, play Mario Kart, do our thing. No, I get to work today and literally just got rammed in the ass until about 3 o'clock this afternoon when we stopped being busy. So that was really cool. Really
Nice.
cool. That's the crappy shit that happened to me this week. And that's probably the least thing. That's probably just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Working in the phone industry in a town full of old redneck old people sucks. But the money's alright, so I can't
I can
complain.
understand that. So I will say, I didn't really have a crappy week at work. Just pretty much, maybe just my standing crappy part of work every week is having to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning 3 days a week for a roughly 2 hour commute each way. Sucks.
So I walk to work because my car's not running right now. I gotta get my battery replaced and get insurance and stuff back and just fix my engine.
We know you walk 10
Um,
minutes to work, so
It's actually about 20 minutes, but I'd much rather walk the 20 minutes. Except I will say, Michigan wintertime, my 20-minute walk is significantly worse than your 2 hour.
yeah, okay. You're right.
Like,
Now
I'll
I take the train.
take that right now.
I will say the train. They crank the AC 24/7, 365, and I have to keep a blanket. In
You
my
can sleep
backpack.
on the train.
But I have to keep a blanket in my backpack because it's so fucking cold on there.
But you can sleep on the train.
Yes, I can, and I usually do.
I can't sleep walking to work. I've tried.
Well,
Don't get very
you
far.
also have to leave for work at like 8:30, whereas I have to leave my house by like 6.
9:15, 9:10.
I have to leave my house by like 10 after 6 at the latest.
But you also have a set schedule that you can plan around, whereas mine changes every week, and I have a
Yeah,
second
that's
job
true.
where that really fucks me over.
Yeah, that's true.
I keep trying to tell my buddy Frankie, my boss, I'm like, hey dude, can you please stop scheduling me on my one day that I work for you to get out at midnight when I have to open at 9:30 the next day? Please stop.
Right.
What he doesn't know, and hopefully he doesn't listen to this, is that
Is
my
it-
actual boss at T-Mobile schedules me to come in at 2 o'clock on Mondays because he knows I close my other job, but I still want enough time to be able to smoke my weed and play my video games. I'm such a shithead.
Hey, that's... Dude, are you calling yourself a shithead with 2 jobs? Fuck off.
True.
I thought you were gonna say that.
I like to have nice things. It costs
That
a
you-
lot.
Yeah,
Poop on
fuck
company
off.
time.
Yeah. All right.
You're getting that out
Whitney,
of him.
tell us about your shitty part of work for the week. I gotta get going here soon.
All right. Well, I mean, the best part is also the worst part. I had. I'll leave out the worst of details, but some hands were thrown over some AirPods. But as far as
Fair.
not getting into the not by me, obviously, but the non-FERPA e portion.
That'd be even better if it was you.
The non-FERPA portions. I think I have a coworker who may be having some bowel difficulties, and we had it won't be covered as a bomb threat at a public school, but there was a bomb dropped in the faculty bathroom. And it was not by me, and I walked into that force
Ooh.
field unknowing. And
This had nothing
Wow.
to do with your entire lasagna.
and
The Dookie Bandit.
the Dookie Bandit has struck at my location of work,
Is he
and
okay.
I've got
Is he
a
the Dookie
raging
Bandit, or is
clue.
he the #1 supporter of the Crappy Hour podcast?
that's true. I'm assuming it's a female, considering my career choices, and by the fact that most of our male.
Hey, support
our
all women.
male-
She is a Dookie Bandit.
She is
I support all
Is-
women.
is probably experiencing some digestive pain based on what I've witnessed.
I hope she is okay.
Well, just statistically speaking, I'm saying there's like an 82% chance it was a female. But there's a 100% chance that I could barely pull it together to walk back into, be presentable to a group full of kids, because I was afraid it had infested my clothing by the time I could escape. And then you got to look them in the eye like nothing's wrong. And there's something wrong in your soul after walking through that ambiance. So It was a catastrophe. There was shrapnel everywhere. Hundreds wounded. That was the crappiest portion of my crappy week.
The Sharpful Dodger.
Indeed.
So, I don't think we addressed this to begin with, but I don't think we ever addressed at all to the listeners what we all do for a living, and I don't know if we're allowed to do that.
I do finance. I look at spreadsheets all day.
I
for a very
am
well-known entity. For a very well-known entity.
I
To keep
am
it
a
It's not that cool.
pager repair instructor at a local vocational college. Sort of the
All
public.
right. So
sort
one of us looks at
Sort of.
phones, one of us looks at pagers, and one of us looks at papers. Well,
Spreadsheets.
computer screens now.
Spreadsheets.
I just looked
So,
at bleach.
so as a trio, we look at pagers, cell phones, and spreadsheets.
I look at just a bleach.
We're in the STEM, field.
Yeah.
Technology.
Are we all bimbos in STEM?
I
Yeah.
am a 100% hot thoughty bimbo in STEM.
Well, I mean, you've got the mom jorts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had the mom jorts. I don't have the mom jorts anymore, and I wish you wouldn't bring them up again because I'm really sad that they're
God.
gone.
I'll bring you
Vote
up
for
again.
Whitney.
episode 2, Dr. Fishy photoshopped into Buka's mom jorts.
I'll
We can
find a
put
picture.
something that I've lost that I've loved in there too.
I definitely have a picture of me in the mom jorts. I'll have to find them and send them to you guys. We can tweet it.
Well,
out
I'll
from the
find
Crappy Hour
something.
account.
We can go with either a
We'll-
picture of
We'll tweet it out from the Crappy Hour account.
a picture.
Also,
I can go
everybody,
with
if you're still here, please follow us at, what is our Twitter at?
At crappy
Crappy Hour
underscore
Pod?
hour crappy underscore hour underscore pod. I know it sucks, but that's what we could get.
is
That's
that
what we had to work
is
with,
that the
guys.
slogan
Follow us on Twitter.
for the show? I know it's
I know it sucks,
we
but
can
that's
get.
what we could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could say that about me too.
I started to say I feel like that's the
So,
vibe we're
like-
putting off for this. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Again, everybody, if you would, give us a follow. Again, on Twitter, that's at crappy underscore hour underscore pod.
Even if you
And
don't
then
listen
each
to
of
the
us,
pod, please just follow us.
Just retweet, like something, help us out. We're just a bunch of bimbos in STEM trying to make our way in this crappy world.
I would like
Again,
to
I'm
celebrate
Michael at O'Halligans.
Hey.
celebrating the 13th birthday of my Twitter account at paging Dr. Crutch.
I am at Diddly Poo, and that's DIDDLYPOOO.
For the brand.
Oh! All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the very first episode of the
Great
Crappy
first
Hour
episode,
podcast.
guys.
Great first episode. There were probably some shit that we didn't do right, but we'll get that fixed. Thank you
We're
so
gonna
much
keep
for
it
stopping
going.
in,
We're gonna keep it going.
bearing with us. We're gonna keep it going. Potentially huge guest on our next episode. So keep an
It's
eye
huge.
out for that.
Yeah.
I will hopefully stop saying repeatedly when I'm at a loss for words. Again, we are Buka, Michael, and Whit, and we're the Crappy Hour Pod. Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in, and we will see you next